test, or rather a quick demo. One of the new members in the Dog Waffle of the moment that you see here, the Dodem, is Dana Zanis. I don't actually know how to pronounce it. Sorry, Danas, if I mispronounced it. Let's go see what he's got here. There's some great artwork done in Dog Waffle and some 3D with Carrara, photography as well. Great stuff. Highly recommend you check his website, danazanis.com with a dash. He also works here at the BS Studio, and well, let's do the following here. I'd like to take this picture and then this picture, and we'll combine them together. So we'll kind of see how to take two photos and two pictures and combine them. Now these are very small pictures, but what you're going to see is really much the same. So I'm going to first copy this into the clipboard, and then I'm going to fire off Dog Waffle, whatever is it. And there it is. Alright, so I've got the picture that I copied from the clipboard, into the clipboard, and I'm now going to paste it into Dog Waffle. That will make me a first image. So this is one way to work it, especially if you have images that are all the same size. This one I don't need, that's a stored copy of this one. But what I'm going to do is instead mirror, or rather copy, the image that I have in the clipboard. So go to the clipboard here and paste new image, and you can actually store it directly here on the fly, paste to stored image. But let's see first in 2 steps, and then we'll shorten that to 1 step. So paste new image, there it is. Actually no, before that, let's cancel this one here. Let's go to the other mode, which is paste new image. So this one here, Control V, paste into image. That one will paste it into the existing placeholder. So we have a fairly large image, and the image I copied was very small, so it only puts this thing in there. What I'd like to do instead is actually resize it to that new dimension, and therefore you can go with Control V, which is paste new image, and that actually will toss the existing image there, right? The current image will be lost. Okay, that we got this. Now we're going to store that. I'm using my Control and Shift key down here as I'm dragging this around to reposition it. I'm going to go to the clipboard again, or actually just here, the store image, right? And I can store this image into a little placeholder. The nice thing is that I can actually do this, what I just did in 2 steps, I can do it in 1, which is if it's on the clipboard, I can go here and say paste the stored image, and bingo, it just stores it directly into stored image. Even if I have nothing here or have something else, whatever it is here, right? If I go to image, clipboard, paste to stored image, you get a copy right there in a stored environment. And if this image here happens to be the same size, you can just click here and bingo, it puts it right there. The idea about this is you work with stored images really quickly. You can also do things like only grabbing the RGB channel and adding that to the existing, so you get a little bit more redishness to it or something like that. Alright, so that's one image. Let's switch back to the other image, and let's see over here. We got this lady with a box face. We're gonna put that one in there too. Let's see, copy image, there you go. And the next thing we'll do, of course, is now we'll store this one directly. Again, clipboard, paste to stored image. Right? Because we don't necessarily want this image of different dimensions to affect the dimensions of this image we have here. Actually, in reality, what you'll probably do is have an image placeholder that's big enough to accommodate either. And this one is more horizontal, sideways, like landscape, and this one is more portrait in its aspect ratio. So let me toss this one here, don't need this one. Alright, so we got these 2 images to work with. I click this one or this one, and it's not perfect because this lady is partly cut off here. So what we'll do is we'll go into creating a new one. Create a new image, and we'll probably need to make it somewhere like 600 or 700 pixels wide. Let's give it something like this, and we know that's going to be bigger than we really need, so we can always trim this a little bit later. Alright, so if we click this, it's going up here. If we click this, it's here. And of course the idea is to bring these into separate layers, because maybe we'll want to have them side by side. Have this lady here on the right side, whereas the dude is on the left side. So let's do this. Let's bring this guy in here. There it is. And actually, now let's start by clearing everything. Clear this. Okay, put it in here. Simply click that thumbnail view, and then we'll go to our let's see if we can do that right here. Yeah, I didn't think so. Let's go and resize that so we can see it right. Alright, so one thing I'm going to do now is simply look at the layers panel here. That might be closed in your installation here, so I'll just click that to open it. And there's only one view, that's this one right here. Right, this is your big white square with part of the image in the upper left corner here. It's actually not just in the upper left corner, it goes all the way to here, and you see DB, the initials here. That's actually part of a very white background that's inside the image here. At any rate, we can go now to add another layer. So we'll go here, add another layer, and we now have a layer on top. Now sometimes you want to really have a layer underneath your first image too, so what you could do is take this one that we just created and move that down. Here's the up and down, right? So layer down, click that, bingo, now it's down below. Okay, you turn it off, you'll see the plaid pattern of some familiarity. And then we go here, that's where we can turn off or on this particular layer. And then we can go add another layer. And that's the layer we want to be in when we click this guy. Okay, so this guy here, if we click it now, it's going to go into the currently selected layer. Make sure you're not on one of these two. Select this one and then click this. Now that's not where we want it though. Okay, so one thing you might want to do here at this point is perhaps go over here and move it to the side. There's a good filter for that, to transform shift. That one to change its size or angle, it will just let you move it around. Now it's kind of repetitive or recyclable, if you want to call it that. Another thing you could do here is perhaps make it a little bit smaller. So actually we will use the other filter, that's the transform filter, and the transform filter is right here. So we'll make it smaller, tile it, nah, not useful, rotate it, yeah, why not, a little bit of an angular thing here, and then move it up to the upper right. Okay, so we got it right here. Now the problem is that we have a lot of black in this layer, as we see here, right? Which is not really in this layer. This image is fine, but it's partly hidden by the blackness of this one, because it's in a multiply mode. The default mode here is multiply. We don't actually do opaque layers or transparent layers in that sense. It is all modified, mathematically combined, multiply or whatever. So one way to clear that is to simply give it white all over here. Where it's black, turn this white. So what you could do is select this layer here at the top, take the color picker, pick the white color from it, then go to the fill can and click on the black area here, and it will make it white and therefore no longer blacken the layer below. Okay, and this somehow doesn't take, so we'll just paint that. That will be an easier way to do it. There you go, just paint maybe with the right button if the left button is black and the right button is white color. There you go, you see, oh actually both of them are white right now. So there we go, we got this transform going. We can go to filter, transform, shift, and we can always transform her a little bit more. Now, there's some other crowd here. Let's clear that out. Okay, that's much better. Now, there's a couple of other things you can do. First of all, you can clip that, right? So we'll want to crop it to perhaps this rectangular area. We'll say grab this and all the way here, and then crop to this selection there. Crop the selection, and that will crop both layers the same way. Okay, so we still have a total of 3 layers. We can still turn this one invisible. Still also change the size of it, and we can select whichever layer we want to continue working in. Sometimes there's a need to do a little transition here, so we can select this layer and not do this, painting it rather is what I wanted to show. So we could go and do some blurring there on this particular layer. Doesn't affect the layer of her. We can go here and then at that point work on her layer. The airbrushing. So I hope you can see how you can work with these layers, especially when they're not overlapping, because side by side it doesn't matter if it's opaque or not. They will be non-overlapping and non-intrusive. Now if you do have overlapping pictures where one should enhance the other or modify the other, you can certainly also do that, and that would be where you can bring in all of these layers. Let me bring this in a little bit so you can get a better idea. There's a lot of new layers in our them. This is PD Howler, also known as PD Pro 6. And when you go here and click on that, you'll see it's even too long to fit into the entire menu here. Perhaps I can close some of these. There you go. Let's see what that gives us. If we go and click on default, still too long. Still don't have them all. So as you can see, there's a lot of information here. A lot of different types of combination modes, different layer styles or layer modes. And some of them are very useful if you want to indeed have some colors that remain opaque no matter what the outer colors above or below are. So that's what you can do with the blue screen, green screen, magic, pink, and drop magenta right here. Anyway, we'll explore some more of those as well. Hope this was useful as a starter for combining two images into one. Of course, at that point, if you want to save it as a file, you have two choices. You can save it and say you want to keep the layers. It reminds you that there is layer mixing that's active here, which means that yeah, you do have some layers there. And therefore, when you save it, you really probably should decide if you want to save just this current layer or if you want to keep the whole layer format. That's a .lay file. If you do want to just flatten it, you can do so here. There is a picture right there, and often merge all layers and permanently merge all layers. There you go, now you have just one layer, and that would be the more typical way to go when you're actually done with this and you have now just the intent of saving it as a regular TARG or TIFF PNG file with JPEG also and so on. So those are the formats that you can see here. Alright, well, thanks for watching.
Funky music.